Board. All right, so what's up, guys? I'm here with the Samantha Lynn. She is a coach. She also creates conscious content for you beautiful viewers. I'm excited to have you on the show. Appreciate you, Samantha. You're awesome. She's my good friend. We actually connected about a couple months ago, a month ago, not too long ago. But ever since we've been talking, we have built a solid relationship, and she's an awesome person. So Samantha, why don't you fill me in a little bit more about what you do?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm a life coach, like you said. I create conscious content and focus on relationships and self-love and empowering people to be their best self and to be authentic and fearless. And thanks for having me on. I'm excited.
Awesome. Awesome. So today we are going to be talking about relationships. We're going to talk a little bit about sex, and we're also going to talk about just being authentic and showing up as you. And I know it looks different for everybody else, but really finding a way to show up 100% as yourself as best as you can all the time. Because if you don't, then, you don't give other people permission if you don't have the permission to allow yourself to show and show your light and all that. So, Samantha, so the relationship guru over here. What's like 2 or 3 tips you could give on like what you learned from relationships and how to have how to really build a relationship?
I'd say probably one of the best things that you can do in a relationship is learn to listen more than you speak. And not listening to respond, but listening to actually have compassionate understanding and learning how to put yourself in another person's shoes. It's crucial. And from the other end, I would say love yourself and take care of yourself and learn how to self-examine. If you have a lot of relationships that are failing or that are suffering, you're the common denominator. And it takes a strong person to actually look at themselves and say, how have I created or perpetuated this situation?
That's so 100%. And as far as like relationships, how do you feel like from like your parents' perspective, seeing how your parents' relationship was, how do you think that affected you subconsciously when it comes to your relationships?
I think, it definitely plays a role because that's what you're brought up in. And a lot of times when people examine relationships, like people that go to therapy or the people that do coaching, your childhood will always come up, because we have a lot of stuff that's imprinted on us without us even realizing it. And as we get older, it's our job to dig through that and understand that even though your parents aren't perfect, they were doing the best that they could with what they had and then at the level of consciousness that they were at. And, it's just looking at it and saying, okay, maybe this is what I observed that I didn't want or that I didn't like. And this is how, I can create a better, more effective relationship because of what I've learned from them.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And like with like showing up from your past and learning certain things from your past, from your parents and stuff, how do you alter that? Like, let's say if you learn certain habits, like, there's a lot of, let's say as a kid, there's like the son, he said, I'm never going to be like my dad. And then he grows up and he's just like his dad within his own relationship, even though he said he'll never be like his dad.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's really common because the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. And if that's what you've seen and that's what you've always done, then of course that's what you're going to keep doing going forward. You only really change whenever the pain of staying the same becomes so unbearable that you would rather go through the pain of change because change is uncomfortable, right? But you can make a decision at any moment and say, hey, I don't want to be like this anymore. And you make that decision. You can make that overnight. But a lot of times it requires making that decision and redeciding every single day. And you're going to fail and you're going to have setbacks. But as long as you fail forward and learn from those mistakes, then you're doing the best that you can.
Okay. And that's, I feel like that's like the realest thing. Like when it comes to like making like a valid change within your life, a lot of people, because change is hard at the beginning, but towards the middle, it starts to get a little easier. And then towards the end is a very beautiful thing. So, I just feel like a lot of people are like stuck at the beginning, and we get so stuck at the hump of trying to get over to the next level, whether that's in relationships or in our business life or in anything. So the next thing I want to talk about is how to have fun in a relationship and stay dedicated. Like what's that look like for you? having fun and being dedicated to where it's always like new and spicy. Because I like spicy food. I don't know if you like spicy food, but
I think like it's good to have different things as an individual in a relationship. So you might have some things that you have in common and interests that you share, and that's great. Those are things that you can do together. But I think it also helps keep things interesting when you have your own life and each of you is independent in your own way. And you
yeah.
might have really different passions, but you
Hmm.
sort of have like the same vision for the world. And you
Yeah.
can come together and like teach each other about what it is that you're doing or learning. And I think that's a great way to not only keep it interesting in your relationship, but also to grow yourself as an individual.
Hmm. Wow, powerful. I feel you. Damn, can I snap? Can I snap on that one?
Sure.
Okay, so next question. Should you wait? Should you wait? So let's dive into the sex conversation. When is the right time? Is it different for everyone? I mean, is there like a time limit for women or men, or is it like how is it for you, your
Yeah,
perspective?
I definitely don't think that there's a time limit. I do think it's different for each relationship and the
Mm-hmm.
dynamic of the two people involved.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I was brought up to wait, and that wasn't something that resonated with me.
Mm-hmm.
However, over the course of my experience, I've learned that yes, intimacy is a spiritual thing. And when you're with someone, you're sharing a very deep, intimate part of yourself. And so your energies that energy of that person is now becoming a part of you. So you want to be protective of your energy, right? Like you've
Yeah.
probably been in a situation where people are being really negative and you come
Mm-hmm.
home and you might have a hard time shaking that negative energy because it's been a part of you for an
Yeah.
extended period of time. So, and it's the same way with your relationships. And
Mm-hmm.
they say don't have sex with someone that you wouldn't want to be.
Ooh. Okay. And that's a powerful thing, but like, I mean, what about the part like, someone that you wouldn't want to be, but someone that just looks so attractive? I feel like in our generation, there's a lot of people that, not just in our generation, but just in general, like what happens when you meet this really attractive person and your eyes so appeal to this person? Like maybe you don't want to exactly be their character, but you want to be with them in other ways. How do you resist that? Because I mean, I have a hard time resisting that if you're beautiful.
Um, I don't think it's necessarily about resistance. I think it's more about just like getting in touch with your intuition
Mm,
and getting in touch with yourself and learning to trust yourself and prioritizing your health, your personal, mental, physical, spiritual health over
mm,
anything else. And
okay.
when you get into that space of self-love and self-care, and you've
Mm,
cultivated that trust and intuition in yourself,
yeah.
then your intuition is going to be able to tell you whether something is good for you and not good for you. And
Mm,
as far as maybe going through with it and regretting it later, like there
yeah.
really isn't such thing as a mistake, because guarantee you can look back on any experience in relationships or otherwise and say, okay, I actually learned something from this. So while you know
Mm-hmm.
I could have done it differently, I wouldn't, because I came out of it with this message or this new wisdom.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if you had to give a tip on so I mean, based off of what you're saying, it's like intuition. There's no real time limit on having sex. It's based off of the two partners. But if you had to
Yeah.
give a tip on like really knowing when to share your body with that person, is it based off of their energy or just on knowing if they're someone that you inspire to be like? Because I know there's a lot of awesome people that I inspire to be like. That like, is that the main reason why we should share our body with that person?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely just about respect and about knowing that it's what both of you want, obviously, and knowing that you both have consented to the situation
Mm-hmm.
and that you just want to take it to another level. Like sharing that is taking your relationship to another level, and you also have to be prepared for the consequences of that, because you're essentially like you're getting very vulnerable and transparent with that person and you're taking off the mask. And that's why relationships and sex are so powerful, because they
Mm-hmm.
force you to confront some of the dark things.
Yeah, 100%. And do you feel like what do you feel like our culture has made sex become like in the general public for everyone? Is it like this taboo thing? Is it like this thing that we just all share? Because I hear rap music, drop it, all that turn up music, and what you listen to, you kind of become. So I feel like has this altered our culture's views on sex? And then you have religion wise, it's like stay
Mm-hmm.
celibate or do this for forever, dot dot dot, or whatever it is for that person, and they feel wrong when they get involved. So I mean, what do you feel like it looks like that as far as our culture?
as far as society and culture, I do feel like, yeah, we have like these polar opposites. And I definitely think that the whole religious, like, wait till you're married thing is now taking a back seat to the, I guess like some of the rap culture and some of
culture.
Ads and, social media, and everybody's being portrayed as like a highlight reel. And I don't think that people in general, as a generality, I don't think that people necessarily take it as seriously anymore, because it is, we're in this age where like we're so accepting and there's no judgment, which is beautiful. But at the same time, people have lost touch with themselves and they've lost touch with source. And like sex is becoming more of a superficial interaction between people. And it's really meant to be much deeper than that.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I feel you on that 100%. You hit it on the nose. Love it. Okay, so being authentic, what does that look like for you? Like, what is being authentic? I mean, I hear authentic, but I mean, what does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, it just means being true to yourself. I mean, looking at a situation and knowing that regardless of the outcome, I want to be able to look back and say, I did the best that I could with what I had. And if I didn't, this is how I can get better going forward. And it's having those uncomfortable conversations. If there's something in your life that you aren't comfortable with, there's something in your life that you want to improve, or there's relationships in your life that you feel you can't carry with you to the next level. It's about being authentic with yourself first and foremost, because if you're not authentic with you, if you can't look yourself in the mirror and let down the mask, then you're not going to be able to have any authentic relationships in your life, whether that's romantic, friendship, business, anything. The foundation for everything is that authentic relationship with yourself.
And I mean, as far as like, because we go through this process. Let's say like, as a kid, we're like our authentic selves all the way. Like kids are kids. Like they'll tell you what it is.
We're born that way.
Yeah, and then we go through the process of kind of trying to blend into culture, sit down, . I mean, what's a way to reprogram the mind of human beings to like really be in touch with that all the time?
That's a really great question, and it's something that I have, I guess, sort of used an analogy with in the past. It's like you're born and you're this perfect being, and no masks. Everything is just you. You're just yourself, right? Until people start to make you think that certain things aren't okay, and you're imprinted by your parents and your peers and social media and all of that stuff. And it's like you're a magnet, and all these things that you keep gaining throughout your life, whether it's judgment or imprinting or programming, and you've kind of like collected this thing. And a lot of us, we get to a point where all this stuff is just too heavy to carry and it's a burden now. And that coming back to the authentic self is like removing these pieces of you, of like judgment from other people and expectations from your parents and the expectations that media has put on us and all these things. And it's about removing it. It's never about like really like gaining anything or chasing this authenticity. It's you. It's always been you. It's about remembering that and releasing everything that doesn't resonate.
Beautiful. And there's also another side of it, right? Like, let's say, do you have someone that you look up to? Do you have anyone that you look up to or you inspire to be like? And that you're around. How do you stay authentic but still develop other characteristics of other people? Like, let's say if you have a mentor you really look up to, and you don't want to become that person, but you, in a sense, you want to be in a sense like that person.
Yeah, well, we're drawn to people that we want to be like, or that we see qualities of ourselves, or a future quality of ourselves that we'd like to be, and we're drawn to that person intuitively for a reason. And what's beautiful about our relationships, romantic and otherwise, is that that person can mirror to you your blind spots, the things that you can't necessarily see yourself. And in the process of that, I think you also start to identify and resonate with the parts of them that you want to be like. And you are the product of the people that you surround yourself with, right? They say like it's the 5 people that you spend the most time with that you become like. So that isn't, I guess that kind of sends me on another tangent, but be mindful of who you're spending your time with, because that is who you will become.
Okay, so what would you say is your signature? What is Samantha's signature? What is your thumbprint that you're trying to leave on this world? Like, what does that look like for you?
Being fearlessly authentic and being empowered in conscious relationship.
Okay. What's the most authentic dance you have? What's like an authentic dance move that you always do?
Authentic dance move?
Yeah, we all have one.
I don't know, the classic Bernie, probably.
Hey, okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Well, thank you, Samantha. I appreciate you. I hope you guys enjoyed this content. Samantha, why don't you tell them where they can find you at or follow you or whatever? All that.
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, samanthalind.co, and you can find me on Instagram, same thing, samanthalind.co, and Snapchat, Sam L. Johnson.
Can we see your dance move one more time before we go?
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, all right, guys. Peace out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. For more videos, make sure to like, subscribe, comment below what you guys thought of these topics that we talked and discussed about. And Samantha, you're awesome. I love you.
Thanks.
Peace.